Hey, welcome back to Five Lakes Garage, and today we're back on our 2006 Mazda 3. Alright, it's a brand new day in the shop. You probably already seen us take care of the front end. We took care of some struts. We're taking care of a lot of different things on this car. Now, it is a 2006. It has about 136,000 miles on it. It needs a little bit of love. Basically, while we're replacing all this stuff, we're going to replace it on it anyway. Even if we got a newer one, all this stuff is replaceable. It needs to go. This will be the reason why. Here's the shock that I took off the one side I've already did. I shouldn't be able just to move it back and forth. There's a little bit of valving left, and it stays. Yeah, garb. This one here, brand new one. Let's see what this thing looks like. It's a grower. Anyway, so we're gonna replace these. That should help with the ride quality. Also, we're going to help with a little bit of a noise issue and also longevity. Now, this is the wheel hub that I took off the driver's side. Now, listen. Yeah, I can feel grinding. You can hear grinding. It took a lot to get this thing off because, as you can tell, she's a little bit cruddy. We're going to replace it with one of these guys. Oh, that sounds so much better. We'll be able to put that in on the other side, and that should help us out with ride quality, noise, and longevity, and that your wheel just doesn't fall off because you burned out the bearing. While we're under there, we're going to replace all the other bushings as well. So we have a lower control arm with new bushings already stamped in. We have the upper, this will be the upper control arm. Then you also have a little wishbone. We're going to replace that. And this will be the reason why we're replacing a lot of this stuff. So if you look right there on that bushing, it's all corroded, nasty. Now look at the new one. Beautiful and sturdy. Should work. Put that piece of crap over there. Also, if you're actually going to be doing this, don't forget you need to get yourself a new top shock mount. That's a little bit extra. Also, alright, the trailing arm, which I'm going to show you that here in a minute. But what we had to do is actually I just got a bushing. On a lot of the other ones, we went ahead and just replaced the whole thing that I already had them pressed in. They wanted like $120 to $125 a piece, and I'm trying to calm it down just a little bit. Anyway, so let's get this guy. My goal tonight is actually to get that whole side kind of loosened, kind of get some of the stuff cleaned up. And then when Ray comes back tomorrow, she is working yet again today, so she's not in the shop, but tomorrow she'll be here with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull all this stuff off, and then you can see exactly what we're trying to do and put it back on. All right, this is under here. This is everything we're gonna take off. We're gonna take off the brake caliper. It's still in good shape, but it is a little bit corroded. In the pins, we're going to take that off and re-grease them, put some anti-seize on there and put them back on. Brake should be fine. This will be your trailing arm. We're going to take that off, brush it, paint it, get all that thing nice and pretty. Obviously you have your shock in here. You do use the little cover. You just reuse it. It's just a plastic cover. It should be fine. Now that would be the upper control arm there. Your wishbone is right down there. All that stuff gets taken off, but you do have to be careful with that spring. The spring is underneath a lot of pressure. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna crawl under there and put a jack underneath that so we can actually keep the pressure. Now there is a hole in the bottom of that seat cup right there, and there is a tool that you stick through there. You put it through the spring, collapse it so you can get it out nice and safe. We don't have that. We're gonna do it a different way. Do it this way at your own risk. Don't blame me if it flies across the shop. So anyway, we're going to take this one bolt out. This whole thing should be able to swing away, and the spring just falls. It comes right out. Just be careful with it. I'll set up the camera so you can actually see when I actually do it. But right now, yeah, there's so much to do. Ugh. No time. Alright, got everything off that we need to get off. And I got my rust bucket of a control arm here. But we have to dismantle this as well. Same thing with the front. We need to take the rotor off, which what we're going to use for that is the old BFH. Alright, so we got our hub. Alright, in order to get that thing off, we're going to actually put it in our vise. Alright, so this is the bushing that is actually up by the car. Excuse me, by the car. And as you can see, I should not be able to wiggle it that much. So she is toast. But we have a new one right here. So what we got to do is actually press this out, press this one back in. And what we want to do is be able to get the orientation of this pivot. So I'm just going to use a small little chisel. I don't want to make a big groove, I want to make a small groove. And just kind of line her up. So I made a little mark right there. You can use a scratch, you can use so many different things, but what I want to do is actually get a groove inside the metal, because we're going to hit this with a wire brush, we're going to hit it with paint, and we don't want it to fall off. So what we need to do now is I'm going to soak all these bolts with some penetrating lube, and then I'm going to have to wait for Ray. She got to do some work on this thing too. So anyway, I'm going to clean up, wait for Ray, and then when we come back, she should be here, and we're going to dismantle this thing together.
Oh, hello there. Thanks for watching. And if you really like it, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you really like it, go ahead and hit the like button. And go ahead and comment, because I want to hear what you have to say. Could be good, could be bad. I don't know. Let me know. And if you really want to send anything to the channel, help us out, whichever. Here's a P.O. box that we opened up in case you want to send something. I'll do a video and see what it is. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, it's a brand new day. Guess who's here? Ray.
Hi.
But she won't come on camera right now. She's shy. But look what she did. She got this thing off. She cleaned it up, hit it with the wire brush, hit it with the needle bit of the thingy that takes a lot of air, and then she painted it, which is awesome. So now we got to get rid of this guy right here. So we're just going to beat it out with a hammer and then chisel this section off and then put in the new one, and we're going to be able to use the press. And then new spindle, and then put everything back in the car. Simple, easy. Because Ray's going to do it. Anyway, I'm going to get this guy out real quick and we'll see how it goes. All right, we got our spindle in. We have our hub on with the bracket on our new piece that Ray just made it look beautiful. And we also have the bushing on the other end. So now we need to tighten these up. Now I have this little tool here. Thank you, Mr. Jerry, because this thing is awesome. So what all it really does is, if you are going to turn this like you're going to tighten it, then you can take a hammer and then you whack it a few times, and what it's going to do is actually jolt it tighter. And the good thing is, if you go the other way, it gets the thing off, which is how I got it broke free earlier. You don't have to use this, I just like it. There you go. Not going anywhere. Alright, next thing you want to do is actually get your sensor, take it out of the old hub bearing, and put this in there so your ABS will work. And it's like a, gosh, what is this, a 6? I'm sorry, it's an E6 Torx. Why does everybody use Torx? It's like they're all Jeep or something. This doesn't have to be too tight, just get it tightish. There you go, not going anywhere. Alright, so we are ready to put this thing back onto the car. There you go, look at that, that looks pretty. Alright, everything is on there. And so, yeah, let's go into the car and put stuff together. Alright, we got the shock out. You can definitely tell it's been a little bit of corrosion. But it's okay though. So what we need is the bump stop and this little, get rid of the dust, and this little cover. That's going to go on the new shock. Now the top piece, out of here, got a new one. Bottom piece, out of here, got a new one. So just zip this off. And if you kick it to the side, most of the time it stops the shaft from sliding around. Ugh. Garbage. Alright, that's all we need to use. And actually, oddly enough, this one's actually in better shape than the other. But it's still bad. But it's still in better shape than the other. That's out of here. New one is actually on here. And flip it around. Zero room in this place. Alright, so I'm going to put our, oops, got to take the nut off. I'm going to put our sleeve back on. Maybe. There we go. I'm going to go over here. Alright, this is our new shock mount. We went ahead and splurged. We splurged on some things. And then make sure you use the new nut that comes with it. This is a nylon lock. Has a little piece of nylon inside here that's actually going to grip and keep it from spinning off. Use your impact. There you go. Get back up there. All right. This guy is ready to get back in. So 2 bolts on front, 2 bolts on top, and then the rest is just like Legos. All right, so before we put the big assembly in there, we got to get this little guy in here. Only because that bolt way under there that Ray's trying to tighten up, you get like a 1/8 of a turn. Reposition, 1/8 of a turn, reposition. And that's a really long bolt. It's going to take for a long time. And also you have to move some stuff out of the way. See, way up top, I had to move all that out of the way. Maybe if you can see it on top. I don't know. There you go. So yeah, I had to move all that out of the way just to be able to get the thing off. So now we're going to get it on, at least get it started. And then we can put everything back together. But we're going to be here for a few minutes. So hang tight. We'll be back. All right, we pretty much got everything in there. It's kind of loose. We're going to show you that here in a second. But this one right here is kind of important. First, you're going to take your bump stop off your old one, put it on your new one. And when you actually bolt this side of it into the bottom of the car, you have a special bolt for that. As you can see, it's off-centered. It is all welded on. It's all one piece. One thing you want to do is when you stick that in there, you have a special little washer. As you can see, it has two little knobs on it. Corresponds with 2 little knobs on your bolt. Now you could, in theory, put it on like that. That's not good. Now, make sure that they're the same ones. There you go. So, when you turn one, you turn the other one. Now what this is used for is actually to align your rear end. Because you don't want a rear end out of whack. It kind of leaks and goes all over the place. Gets all loose. So anyway, so what you're going to do is actually stick this in there. Make sure that these guys are the same on both sides. Tighten it down and then take it to your alignment shop and they can actually put it in there for rails. Now ideally you put a little mark on this, a little bit of a mark on your chassis, and I'll kind of get you in the ballpark of where it's going to be. But I'm not worried about on this one because the tires are already shot. Almost up to the last step, and Ray has been doing a fantastic job. Don't let her fool you. She's actually going to be a mechanic one day. All right, so we have everything in there. Do not tighten everything up because you do need to put weight on it when you actually tighten everything up. So we have our jack underneath. There you go. All right. All right, so the top has a rubber isolator here. Now, if this is messed up, go ahead and get a new one. This one's actually in pretty good shape. It's nice and pliable. Now, this little groove right here will actually go straight onto your spring. Now, you're going to stick this up inside here. And then on the bottom, you have a little hole down into the groove, which is right there. And we're going to stick this in, twist it so that goes into the hole. Now, I'm going to have Ray jack up the jack. All right, we're going to get everything in the slot. You got to twist it back to the clip. So we're gonna line everything up before we actually do it. Hold on, there's your bolt. All right, so that spring is still under it's gonna be under a lot of pressure. Ray's gonna go back into the back. I'm gonna grab this guy. And what we're gonna do is she's gonna jack the jack up, and then I'm gonna feed this bolt straight through here when this lines up with that. When that is done, we'll tighten it up a little bit, and then this spring will be secure. Sorry for giving it light. There we go. There we go. All right, so what we're gonna do is Ray's gonna jack that up. I'm going to, once this lines up, I'll put my bolt in, tighten it down a little bit, and then this spring should be ready to go. Just be careful because it is under tension. All right, Ray. Oh, what you got, Ray? All right, so my bolt is in. Bolt is in. Now Ray's gonna let off some pressure off of the jack. Slowly. There we go, nothing popped, nothing broke. All right, so what we're gonna do now is go to dinner. But then when we come back, we're gonna put pressure just like we did before. We're gonna jack it up to about ride height, or at least pretty close to it. And then we're gonna tighten this one, that one, those two, that one, this one, and then we should be able to work on the brakes. The brakes will be next. So, yeah, it's getting there. And listen to that, ready? Oh, so quiet. All right, it's gonna ride like a brand new car. But first, we need to get something to eat. All right, so we got the jack, put some pressure on it. It's about relatively right height. So now we're just gonna take the impact and go ahead and hammer them all in, and then we're gonna take a ratchet or a breaker bar and go ahead and ratchet in some more. Thanks, Ray. Trying to throw a bug on me. So now we have to get the ones from underneath. And guess what? I got a Ray to do those. Even though she tried to put my glasses on and it didn't work. Anyway, we're gonna tighten them up, and then we're gonna get the brake caliper off and fix that up and lube it up to make it nice and slippery. Well, it's a brake. Can't be really slippery. But we're gonna make it slide so it can grip. There you go. All right, let's go. Give all those some good dugga-duggas.
Which ones?
You can do that one if you can reach it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're underneath the car again. All right, so the final thing we need to do before we actually get the brake set up would be your sway bar end links. Now this came with the kit when I got the front side. So all these do is connect your sway bar, if I can get it to move. Hard to do with one hand. It's a good thing I got right here. There we go. All right, so we're moving up top. So this side's gonna go straight up to the top. So we're sticking it through the sway bar end link first, so that when we go straight up with both sides, they should be able to lock right into place. All right, do you have the nut? All right, so on the sway bar end links, I got my side in. Ray is working on hers, and as you can see, we're using an Allen wrench on the top, and then using the wrench on the bottom. And guess what time it is? It's time to put the tire back on. When that happens, that means we're getting close to the end. No.
What?
Skip.
Why?
All right, so we got the tire on. Ray did a fantastic job. And yes, we are using a impact driver, not an impact impact, whatever, impact. This is a little bit of dugga. This is not gonna have enough torque to be able to over torque these lugs. So I'm okay with that. Once you put it on the ground, we're going to get torque wrench and torque it up. And if you notice, she went from here to there to there to there to there. And the reason why you actually go diagonal is so that if you did it from here to here to here to here, and if it was kicked to the side, it will actually bind up and it will not sit flush. Right now it's sitting flush. A little bit of drag on the brake, but once we hit the brake, that should even right out. All right, let's put it on the ground. Yeah, let's go. All right, so we basically replaced the entire rear suspension of this 2006 Mazda 3. Hopefully it should ride just like a brand new car. Now the next step is actually go downtown and actually get it lined up. Luckily when I did the front, I went ahead and got the lifetime warranty on it. Well, lifetime alignment, I guess. So I'm just gonna give them a call and go get it done again. But she should be ready to go. She got new shocks, struts, control arms, link arms, everything. Bump stops. Everything's all new, so it should be great for when Ray actually starts driving this. But before she does, I'm going to be driving it just to make sure it's nice and tidy. So anyway, check out all the other stuff. Stay tuned for more stuff on this guy here. We still have plenty more videos to go through. Some going to be pretty basic. Some of it's going to be a little more advanced. But check us out, follow along, and hopefully this will help out with your vehicle. So until then, take it easy, have fun, keep building your own stuff, and get the younger generation out here to teach them how to do it, to pass it on. It's an awesome feeling. Proud dad moment.
Yeah,
Later.